Good morning. These are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Thursday, April 2nd, brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. The main story in today's Guardian reports that the next general election in the Bahamas will be held on May 12th. Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis announced yesterday that he will advise the Governor General to dissolve Parliament on April 8th, with writs of election to be issued the following day. The voters' register will therefore close at the end of the day on April 8th. The Prime Minister encouraged anyone who still needs to register or transfer their registration to do so immediately. He also reminded the public that anyone who already holds a valid purple voter's card remains properly registered and does not need to sign up again. The announcement officially begins the final stage of the election process as political parties prepare for campaigning and voters prepare to go to the polls. Another major story reports that prosecutors rarely bring charges against police officers involved in fatal shootings. Research by the Nassau Guardian shows that in the past 20 years, charges have been filed in just 5 deadly police shooting cases where no inquest was held. The issue has received renewed attention following the recent murder charge against Superintendent Berniel Pinder in connection with the fatal shooting of American Cody Castillo outside a bar in Nassau. The report highlights how uncommon it is for officers to face criminal charges, noting that many cases instead go through the coroner's court process. There are also reports of long lines and frustration at voter registration sites across New Providence. Residents complained of waiting hours to register or transfer their voter information. In response, Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson announced that voter verification services will temporarily be suspended so staff can focus on registering new voters and processing transfers ahead of the election deadline. In another story, a breastfeeding advocate says she is disappointed that the Davis administration did not extend maternity leave during its current term in office. Advocates say the issue should now become a priority for the next government, arguing that extended maternity leave would better support mothers and newborn children. Meanwhile, fish vendors at Potter's Cay Dock and the Fish Fry report that sales have increased ahead of the Easter holiday weekend. Vendors say strong demand and the recent close of the crawfish season have brought more boats and more fish to market, helping to keep prices relatively stable while attracting large numbers of customers preparing for Easter meals. Turning now to the editorial. A misguided policy proposal. The Guardian's editorial criticizes the Free National Movement's proposal to provide $200 a month to certain parents of newborn children. The editorial argues that the proposal appeared poorly thought out and that direct cash benefits can create long-term fiscal obligations. It suggests that instead of introducing new entitlements, government should focus on improving existing systems and addressing broader issues such as childcare costs, wages, housing, healthcare expenses, and opportunities for economic mobility. Now, to the letters to the editor. Letter headline: The Bahamas needs courage, discipline, and economic vision. The writer outlines a conversation with opposition leader Michael Pintard about economic reforms the country should prioritize. These include energy reform, greater Bahamian ownership in the economy, strengthening tourism value capture, expanding opportunities in Grand Bahamas, improving digital infrastructure, housing development, food security, skills training, and fiscal responsibility. Letter headline: Still PLP, all the way. The writer argues that the Progressive Liberal Party has historically been responsible for major social and economic advancements in the country and warns voters against returning the Free National Movement to office. In other national news, Prime Minister Davis toured the SuperValues grocery store on Wolf Road as the government's new policy removing value-added tax from unprepared food items took effect. The Prime Minister said the change means Bahamians now pay zero VAT on those grocery items. The opposition FNM, however, criticized the move, calling it a pre-election gimmick and arguing that it provides only modest savings for families. Those are your Nassau Guardian highlights for this Thursday. To read the full stories and more detailed coverage, be sure to purchase a copy of today's Nassau Guardian or visit their website for the complete edition. As always, staying informed is one of the most powerful tools any citizen has. As the saying goes, an informed people can better shape their future. Thank you for listening to your Daily Bahamas headlines. Enjoy your day.